Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk about Black History Month, the month that is a celebration of my people, because I am a black man and everything. And it's about all our accomplishments, all the oppression that we have gone through over like centuries of living in like America and stuff like that. So I'm here today to talk to you about how the black characters were treated so unfairly on Pretty Little Liars. So, Pretty Little Liars came out nearly a decade ago. And so it is a very, very, very popular show. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. It would really put what was it, like ABC Family on the map, which is now called Freeform. You know, it was a show everybody was talking about back in the day, right? And it's still popular till this day. They tried to like, give it like three different spin-offs, and two of the spin-offs ended in like one season, the other one ended in just two, because the original was just like, that good. Even when the season started to be bad and the finale was terrible, it's still considered like a really, really, really good show. There was mystery, there was intrigue, there was suspense, there was drama, there was romance. However, when it came to the show, people started to notice as like, the show went on, and as especially as the show ended and has ended for a very long time, is that, there's a lot of things in the show that just did not it has not aged well. And one of those, like, because it was like grooming and like underage dating of like adults and stuff like that, but also that of the treatment of these black characters. The black characters, now here's the thing, right? They're terrible characters of all race. But it seems the black ones always got like the short end of the stick. And it always seemed like there will always be like one black character per season, and none of them were ever the main character. They was always recurring or guest stars, and for the most part, a lot of them ended up dead. Because there was probably about 9 black characters in the entirety of 7 seasons, and like I said before, they was all recurring or guest star, and most of them just died. You know what I'm saying? Whether they was good or they was bad. Pretty Little Liars, the original show, not Original Sin, because in Original Sin, they realized, okay, look, we got a diversity problem and we need to clear this up. And so they started having more like, diversity in the HBO Max series. But in the original one, the Freeform one, that was a very white show. In fact, the cast consisted of 3 different races. 95% of the cast and characters was white. About 4% was black, and then 1% was like Asian. There was probably about a total of, there was 2 main Asian characters, Filipino, for the entirety of the show, and then 2 guest appearances or recurring that were also, I think, Asian or something like that, or at least close looking. But yeah, it was like 95% white. Like, this was a very white cast and stuff. And that's how the book is, you know what I'm saying? The book is very white as well, but they changed a couple of ethnicities when it came to the show, being that of Emily, who's Filipino, and probably Maya. I'm not really sure because I never read the books, but yeah. But like, people just couldn't help notice that, geez, man, there's like no diversity whatsoever in this show, and it's extremely popular. So the creators started to change that. Now, Marlene King is the one who created the show, and I don't know much about her other than the fact of her sexual orientation. Other than that, she's a complete mystery. I have no idea idea if this woman is prejudiced or racist or what. I don't know. All right. I simply just do not know. Nobody knows and everything. But it is odd how, like, the black characters always got the short end of the stick, and also so much for the most part is the people in color in general. And that could just be a Hollywood thing, because you know how Hollywood is and stuff like that, and who they cater to. But when it came to this show, I don't think she's I don't think she's racist at all, because from what I've heard, Shay Mitchell was like one of her favorite stars, and she even tried to make a television show with Shay being the lead, but that didn't happen. And a lot of people have said that they feel like Troyan is one of her favorite stars as well. And Troyan got like a lot to do in the show, and she really did. Now I'll get into Troyan a little bit later, because Troyan is actually a person of color in disguise. But people couldn't help but to just speculate, like, what the heck is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Because when a black character is introduced, they're either, like I said, for a guest starring, recurring, or they're like the love interest, or they just end up dying. And it was really frustrating. Now, there was a balance between like who are bad characters and not. Yeah, you had white characters that were bad and you had black characters that were bad. But it seemed like the black characters who are bad always die very early. Whereas the white bad characters will either live, continue to be recurring characters, end up getting married to somebody who used to be a teenager, or like there was only like maybe one evil person on the show that was white that actually ended up dying. Everybody else just gets to live. Oh wait, there was one Hispanic dude on the show as well. At least I think he's Hispanic. But then he was bad, of course. And he ended up dying, of course. And that dude ended up dying off screen. And it's just one of those things. So it's just kind of odd. I don't know if it's her or it's a Hollywood thing or what. Now, I've stated before that Troyan is actually a woman of color. She's not white whatsoever, but she always plays white characters on TV and movies. And she just got through playing one on a cop show I just got through reviewing. Go watch that, called On Call. And so she plays Spencer Hastings on the show, right? But in actuality, even though she's playing a white girl on the show, and she's actually Italian and Black Creole. And yeah, I know, right? So for the most part, Creole people have always been considered black. A lot of them just don't look it, but they are. Because her mom is Black Creole and her dad is Italian. So she's not white, but she's playing a white girl. And for the most part, like I said before, Spencer's one of the best things on this show. She's like almost everybody's favorite character. So in terms of having a black star actually do something profound on the show, she is it. The problem is she's not playing the black character. But when it comes to the actual black characters, I swear to God, man, it's to the point that way, because I haven't watched this show in forever, but I just started rewatching it. I watched and reviewed the third season. I was watching the second season, and I stopped at episode 10 last year because I got busy, because I had a bunch of streaming stuff and I had to get through those before they expired. And so I'm gonna rewatch season 2 again soon, but I'm gonna have to start back from the beginning because I forgot what happened in those 10 episodes. But like doing this video, making this video, I forgot some of these black characters that were even on this show. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm just like, that's how little purpose they have on the show, or how forgettable they are. It's like I literally forgot who they are, mostly the cops and stuff. It's just like, wait, they was on the show. So I had to like look them up online because I haven't got to their seasons yet. And so when it comes to the characters, first and foremost, this female cop character, I don't know her race. The actress does not like for people to know her race, like at all. She even stated that. Um, like she just will not tell nobody her race. However, some people had done some investigation online, and it turns out she might be European. Don't know what kind, white, black, whatever, but she might be from that of South India, I think. It's been stated, at least on her Wikipedia page. There are some people who say she's Afro Caribbean and stuff, so I just don't know. So she's gonna be left out of this video. So I have to give an honorable mention, like to probably the only good black character on the show, like through and through. But he's a recurring character, and when I say recurring, I mean at the very least, he's mostly just a cop who comes in, tell people bad news, or he interrogates them once he got like a promotion and stuff. And that is Officer Barry Marple, I think his name is. Dude's been there since season 1 all the way to the finale of season 7. He started off as just like a cop. Then later on, I think during the time jump, he got a promotion to where he was like a detective or something like that. For the most part, he is like the only real good cop in the entirety of the series, because there was a lot of bad cops. And so give this dude his flowers, because apparently they saw the writing on the wall and had to make somebody good that was black. However, in a deleted scene, he was gonna let CC Drake go, and CC Drake is not a good character. She is the second A, and just an all right, like, bad person who killed somebody. But that was a deleted scene, so thank God they kept that deleted, but they was gonna try to ruin his character at some point. So we have to start with the very first black character there is, Maya Saint Germain, and played by Brianna Lawson. She was like in her like 30s, I think, and she was playing a teenager, and nobody knew. Like it was crazy. However, she was our first tragic black character. And it is quite a shame what has happened to Maya. Now, for the most part, everybody loves Maya, but there are some people over the years who don't like her only because she got Emily to smoke weed and stuff like that. I'm not okay with that, but she's still a good character. She was a nice, sweet, enduring character. She helped Emily break out her shell because Emily was a closeted lesbian. They dated and stuff. She had kind of like this naughty girl side to her, but not like a real naughty girl side to her. However, the injustice was done not only to the character, but to the actress as well. See, the character got sent off to like some type of like reform school camp type thing because her mom found weed and stuff like that. After that, her character pretty much just disappeared from the entirety of the first season. She's only was in like a handful of episodes and only returned for like one guest appearance towards the end of season 1. And so it really sucks because once again, you have a black character who's a love interest, but then not only that, but she's missing for the majority of the first season. By the second season, and it's been a good while since I watched this. I don't know if she appears in the second season or not, but at some point she breaks up with like Emily. And so she's barely in the second season. By the end of the second season, her character like died off screen. And her death becomes part of the main driving plot of season 3. But we really only ever get to see is video footage of her, like in a video message. She doesn't even really appear in season 3 that much. And so she's mentioned a lot, but never seen. And it's just kind of like, this was like a big love interest recurring character, and she couldn't even appear on screen like in the flesh, had to do like a recording message. And then not only that, but then they started to kind of ruin her character a little bit by having her hang out with Noel Khan, who's a terrible character, and just like all kind of other weird stuff. So the fact that they tried to tarnish the character tells you something probably happened behind the scenes and we'll never ever find out. Now, when it comes to that of the actress, boy, they did her dirty. Now, when it comes to Emily's other love interest, Paige, played by Lindsay Shaw, Lindsay has stated over and over she was fired from, well, Lindsay, that is, was fired from Pretty Little Liars. Now, Lindsay's white and very controversial in real life. And so Lindsay got fired because of drug usage, right? And Marlene King just got sick and tired of her, that and all the drama. So she straight up fired her. But then she decided to rehire her many years later. But she fired her to her face. Not Brianna, though. Brianna had to find out by another co-star. Because she's barely on this show, she decided to audition for like another show, right? And she saw somebody who worked on Pretty Little Liars. And that person was all like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about what happened to your character. And Brianna was just kind of like, what are you talking about? And she's all like, well, they killed your character off. And that's how she found out she was fired from Pretty Little Liars. If that's not the most low-down thing I've ever heard, I don't know what is. So I do wonder what the heck happened behind the scenes. So far, nothing has been revealed. However, there was one comment on Reddit that says that the actress was difficult to work with. I've never seen no proof of this. I've never heard no co-star of the show say that. I've never heard no co-star of another show say that. So I have no idea. But this is the second time this actress has gotten the boot from a very popular show. If you recall, it first happened even a decade before this show on Buffy the Vampire Slayer when she played Kendra. So she doesn't have luck when it comes to these shows. In season 2, there's one of the vice principals from the school that the Pretty Little Liars went to. I don't even remember this guy's name. I don't even remember this guy. He only appeared in one episode. In one episode only, and he's the vice principal. Yet the other vice principal or principal showed up for multiple times. And when this dude showed up, he was not likable. He had conflict with Emily. Emily was accused of using like enhancement drugs or something like that for her swim team. He didn't try to believe her. Even when there was evidence, he didn't want to look at it. He just straight up like, demonized her and everything. And it's like, dude, he wasn't even going to try to hear her side. And so they made him into like a terrible character. Now in the third season, we get our third black character. Did you not hear what I said? In 3 seasons, this is our third black character. There's like literally a black character per season. And this is Landon. And Landon is a horrible character. He pretends to be the cousin of that of Maya, and he's trying to find out how she died. While doing this, he's cozying up to Emily, which reinforms she is bisexual and not a lesbian. And so, like, with this character, he starts off all nice and genuine and seems kind of smart. Then he tries to date Jenna, but that goes wrong because it's what Cece did. And then he has an outburst, which made him seem kind of villainous and everything, which is kind of like, whoa, what's this about? And Emily should have seen a red flag with that, but they write Emily to be so stupid on the show, it's like laughable and stuff. So while a lot of bad stuff is going on, and a lot of bad stuff is going on with Emily, she decides to go to a cabin in the woods with this dude after that outburst and stuff. And it's later on revealed that he's not Maya's cousin. He is in fact the one who murdered Maya. He liked her, he crushed on her, she didn't I think they broke up or whatever. And then he couldn't take rejection and he killed her. Then he tried to kill Emily, only to be shot by Emily and everything, and then he dies. And it's like, why? Like, why? It's like one thing. Okay, first of all, he's bad. Okay, if you want to have a bad character as a black, that's fine, because there are bad white characters too. But the bad white characters get to live. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just not fair and everything. And it's just kind of like they could have kept him on for a couple more seasons, then killed him off. You know what I'm saying? Or just like something. Now, Shauna gets introduced in season 3. And 'cause I guess they had two black characters, but hers is very minor. And so she's in season 4 a whole lot more after that one like guest appearance. She's dating Jenna, and the liars don't know it, and she's working for Jenna to spy on them. So once again, we have another bad character, but things go even way worse than that. She turns, of course, villainous and tries to kill the Pretty Little Liars. She ends up shooting Ezra, and Arya basically back kicks her to her death and everything. So it's like, really, we got 3 bad black characters, and now out of the 4 that have appeared, 3 of them are dead. Yeah, I don't understand this show sometimes. Like, I just really don't understand this show sometimes. Now, Eddie Lamb, I keep forgetting about. He showed up in the 3rd season as well. So yeah, so my bad. They had 3 black characters in season 3, but he just has like a recurring role. He's like an orderly at Radley, the mental place, and he befriends that Spencer. He's there to help her character move forward. He doesn't have a role of his own, and later on, I think he helps Arya or something like that, but he's rarely in the show, and for the most part he's a nice guy. When it came to the spinoff, for some bizarre reason they decided to recast him, but other than that he's like never seen again. Now these 2 cop characters, I don't even remember. I haven't got that far in the rewatch yet, but like Clark, I remember at one point they were starting to pair Arya off again with another love interest. They do this all the time, but everybody knows they're never gonna commit to it because she's just gonna end up with Ezra, her teacher, who she ends up marrying later on down the road when she becomes an adult. But Clark pretended to be a photographer, and he helped her story move along because, like, of course, she was doing photography at that time, and he was once again another love interest and stuff. But then it turned out he was an undercover cop trying to get information out of her. After that, the dude just literally disappears. I guess they got their, like, what is it, like 2 seconds out of him, and they're like, all right, you gotta go. Detective Lorenzo, who the actor, I forget what race is. He's Italian and black. And so he's a good cop, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this show doesn't have that many good cops. And so he's a good cop, and he starts to be interested in Allie. This is after like the time jump. And, basically he said, I don't care what you did in the past. He ain't looking at all that and stuff, and he's just interested in her. Well, as we all know, they never ended up together, and she ended up marrying another person, and then another person. I forgot, who was that doctor? No, that one guy she married. Was it? I think he was related to her, but she didn't know that or something like that. The show gets weird sometimes, but they could have gave Lorenzo and Allie a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have been a couple, but oh no, they can't do that because they can't keep a black character on the show for too long. So he gets written off the show. And last and but not least, there's Yvonne, and she is the wife of Toby. After the time jump, him and Spencer broke up, and they decided to give him a wife, and she's black. Dude, that was so cool, and she's really nice and she's really sweet. However, because this show can't keep a black person on for too long, they decided, you know what, we're gonna give Toby a tragic, like, love story. He's finally found love again, he's married, but oh no, his wife is ill. and she dies. Just like that. She was only, and I do mean only, brought in to be a love interest. She was only brought in to give Toby something to cry about. Why do black people get the short end of the list on this show? And so, yeah, that's all of our black characters we've ever had on this show. If they're not a love interest, they're a villain. And they just don't last that long on the show. They either get written off or they just simply die. And when they get written off, sometimes there's no explanation as to where they go. You know, it's puzzling. It just really is puzzling how Hollywood operates sometimes when it comes to this people of color, especially that of black characters. This is why there is so much diversity now in Hollywood, whether it's genuine or whether it's forced. It's because of reasons like this. And they should have treated their black characters a heck of a lot better. Thankfully, none of their black characters were like an extreme like stereotype, but nevertheless, they got the short end of the stick. And all the white characters on the show, whether they're good, they're bad, they're horrible, whatever, at least they got to like be on the show and have actual storylines and actual real storylines, and they got to live for the most part. But oh no, not the black characters. Happy Black History Month, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.